We're back on the record. In the matter of Miranda DeFreitas, and prior to going off the record, Mr. Freitas, I asked you if you had an opportunity to discuss advising your current employer of criminal conviction. You wanted an opportunity to discuss that with your counsel. And so, are you still looking to move forward with your plea at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And are you pleading guilty because you believe you are guilty, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, as to the amended charge of operating while visibly impaired, how you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
It's found on a factual basis.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Freitas, on or about August 16th of 2020, were you operating a vehicle in a place open to the general public, in this case at or near 407 Willard Avenue in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
I was parked on that area, yes.
And you were behind the wheel and the car was running?
I was behind the wheel, the car was not running.
Are you the video shows that? Yes, you're sure. You remember that? Do you remember when the officer, an officer approached you while you were parked there, right?
He did.
Okay, and do you remember at some point after this conversation started, he telling you to turn off the car?
He did, because I started it in front of him. He asked me if it was running, and I said my lights were running. I have a push to start vehicle, and so I showed him.
Okay, all right. And at that time, prior to operating that vehicle, had you been drinking?
The night before I had. I did.
All right. And did the police officers take you to Sparrow to get your blood drawn?
Yes.
Okay. And would you dispute that the blood alcohol content in your that they took at Sparrow was at 0.097? Would you dispute that?
If that's what it came out, I can't dispute it. Okay. I didn't feel like that, but yes, if that's what showed, then I cannot dispute that.
All right. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Ms. Bowen, did you have any questions?
Nothing to say, Your Honor.
Are you in the area in which this took place again?
Yes, Your Honor. It is listed in the complaint that it was at near 407 Willard Avenue in the city of Lansing.
Okay. What's that 407 Willard?
It was just an area that I felt safe to pull over.
It was a neighborhood residential.
It was a neighborhood residential.
Thank you.
It was on back roads on the way to my home.
Thank you. Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will accept for sentencing. Prior to sentencing, you need to meet with probation. They're going to provide the court with a pre-sentence report and recommendation. Did you already do a substance abuse assessment?
No.
Okay, you're going to have a substance abuse assessment done, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
And they can help navigate that or advise you as to where you can get that done. If they're not able to do it downstairs, they are a little short-staffed. You should, before you leave here today, stop at the fifth floor and meet with probation today so they can give you the questionnaire you'll need to complete and get back to them immediately so that they can get the report started for the court. Your sentencing date you just received is going to be on December 21st at 11 o'clock in the morning. It can be via Zoom if all parties consent.
Your Honor, I have no objection to appearing by Zoom for sentencing, right?
That's fine, Your Honor.
No objection from the city.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the court today, Mr. Freitas?
I do not.
Any additional matters for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Earlier, this court inquired as to the maximum penalty for the operating while visibly impaired, and the city needs to correct the actual fine. The maximum fine is actually $300, not $500, Your Honor.
You said $300?
Yes, $300.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, you understand that, ma'am, that it's the maximum fine is up to $300. It's not $500 as previously stated. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does that affect your willingness to move forward with this plea?
No, Your Honor.
We'll see you at the time of your sentencing. You can log in via Zoom, and we'll send another notice to your address. Can you give her a copy of the Zoom information in case she has it? Okay, you're all set then. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Griggle, for some reason, we believe Mr. Herrera is still in custody.
Why was he?
Wait, can you hear us? Oh. Just walked out. You know, I was thinking, county datelines. This world's so crazy. It might just happen. They already got that, they did the Christian bingo, they did, tender inmates, what they was.
I'm sorry, I was talking earlier. I didn't realize we were live.
No, it was muted.
Okay.
Who is in under LPD court officer?
Hello? Hello?
It's Mr. Davis.
Ms. Nash, do I need to bring,
She just muted us. Okay, she already ready to change. I was surprised how many movies Michigan made. Come from Chicago, so it's like, there's a lot of movies they made down there.
Yeah.
The Lug Nuts is where I realized when we were on Lug Nuts, I said, didn't they make Batman and Superman around here? Because you could see that, like, I'm like, that scene, I swear, I remember that scene. Or was it Justice League? One
One of the two, huh?
I think it was Justice League. Yeah.
I'm sorry, who was logged in as LPD court office?
Mr. Davis?
What was your first name, Mr. Davis?
Micah,
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Davis, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're on the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Micah Ezekiel Davis. The file numbers is 20-03595 and 21-00424. Council appearances.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Mary Bowen appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Micah Davis, who is present via Zoom.
Today's the date that was set for a jury trial in both matters. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, an offer has been extended to Mr. Davis. He intends to accept that offer. The offer is for Mr. Davis to plead to one count of assault in both of his files set for jury trial today, and in exchange, the assault or the property damage in file 424 would be dismissed. Further, Your Honor, that is going to be a no contest plea due to lack of memory. I believe I provided the court with materials relative to each file for the no contest plea.
Are these two separate reports? That's what I'm trying to see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, that is
Oh,
correct.
they are, okay.
The report for file 3595 is 2 pages. The report for 424 is only 1.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Bowen, that's a complete and accurate understanding of the plea that was offered?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Okay, and Mr. Davis, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. So, sir, you heard the plea that was stated by your attorney that the offer was for you to plead guilty to one count of assault and battery in each file, and the city would move to dismiss the remaining counts? I'm sorry, plead no contest.
No contest.
Okay, and the basis for the no contest plea is due to your lack of memory. And you agree with
ma'am.
that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Davis, you have the right to be represented by counsel, and you are represented by Mr. Keefe from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed to jury trial in this matter, which was scheduled for today. If you were to proceed to jury trial, you would have the right to have the city attorney bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charge against you. They have to prove each of the elements beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if you want to plead no contest or enter no contest plea today, you would have to waive your right to have that trial. So that means you won't have an opportunity to question or cross-examine any of the witnesses that the city was intending to bring. You won't have an opportunity to call your own witnesses to further any defense you may have. And you won't have the opportunity to remain silent at trial and not have that silence be used against you. You understand that, Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights today?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody threatened you in any way to get you to waive your rights?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And file number ending in 424, I have police report or case number 205-191-2867, is that correct?
Give me just a moment.
Just make sure the dates on the complaint are the same. Yeah, I think that's the same date as the incident on the complaint. States here that on December 16, 2020, in the area of 1103 Lake Lansing, the officer was flagged down by witness Micah Sosnowski. Sosnowski stated he was sitting in his vehicle in this driveway when he saw who was later identified as Micah Davis running toward him. Sosnowski put his vehicle in reverse in an attempt to get away. from Davis. Sosnowski backed his vehicle into the roadway, and at the same time, Davis jumped on the front windshield of his vehicle. Davis immediately jumped off of Sosnowski's vehicle and began yelling at him. Sosnowski drove north, and Davis followed him on foot approximately 10 to 20 yards. Davis then ran back to his residence at 1103 Lake Lansing. Sosnowski stated he would contact his insurance company to have damage repaired, and he did not want to pursue charges due to Davis obviously having a mental episode. And that was in 1103 Lake Lansing, which is the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Any additional factual basis on that one?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sosnowski in the police report advised that the previous statement where it said that he did not want to press charges against the accused, that was incorrect, and he did want to press charges for himself.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry. I'll try and speak louder with the math. Mr. Sosnowski previously had been mentioned in the report that he didn't want to press charges, but he had advised, Mr. Sosnowski had advised the officer that that was incorrect, and he did want to press charges for assault.
That was in a later report?
That
Not
is
in this
actually
report.
on, because there's four, it should be 4 pages to the 21.
Your Honor, I believe that was in a different report because that was a statement made at a later date. As to whether that goes to the factual basis.
It's not really germane.
Okay. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, that issue is not germane, but nonetheless, any additional factual basis as to the elements of the charge?
No.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis on that matter. As to file number 2003595. Court has case number 205-191-2676. States that on or about December 10th, 2020 at 4:20 p.m. in the area of 2148 North High Street, officers were dispatched in reference to an assault. The caller, is it Mahalia Murray, stated that a male kept attacking her. Dispatch further advised that Murray sounded distressed and advised that the male was not letting her go. Murray advised the accused attempted to get inside of her house and then started to attack her. I'm trying to follow these pages here. This one is really small. Page 3, and then this is supposed to be page 4, the same. Okay. Police officers made contact with the victim, Mahalia Murray. Murray stated that she was outside playing with her 3 children. She saw the accused, Micah Davis, in the backyard of his residence, which is directly behind hers. Davis waved at her and she waved back as she was trying to be neighborly. Murray stated that she has never met him before, as she's referring to Mr. Davis, and just know that he resides at the residence or at that residence. Davis walked through the gap in her fencing onto her property. Murray states this made her feel uncomfortable because he did not have a mask on, so she politely asked him to leave. Murray stated he would not leave, and Davis was muttering words, but none of them were making much sense. Davis walked past Murray and opened the door to the residence. Murray told him No one was inside except her dogs, and they were not friendly towards strangers. Murray further advised Davis did not enter into her residence, but squatted down as if he was calling her dogs to him. Murray stated at this point she closed the doors herself and stated she was going to call the police. Murray walked away from the residence because she believed Davis would follow her and she did not want him near her children. Murray told her children to go inside. Murray was on the phone with 911 when Davis started to come towards her in a threatening manner and was grabbing her arms and not letting go. Murray attempted to push him off, but Davis would not let go. Murray advised Davis was calling her crazy and bipolar. Davis was still not letting go of Murray, and she started to yell help. Murray believed that she was going to be hurt by Davis, so she balled up her hands into a fist and started punching him in the chest. Murray declined medical attention on the scene. Murray did break a few nails in an attempt to get Davis away from her. Any additional factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis on this file. The court finds that no contest plea to be appropriate under the circumstances. The plea will be accepted. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Do we have victims here today at all?
Yes, Your Honor, in both cases.
Okay. Any objection to immediate sentencing?
Not on behalf of the defense, Your Honor.
Okay.
No.
The victims want to address the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can come up. You can either, we just need to be able to pick you up on the mic, so it's probably better if you just come in the witness.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Can you please state your name for the record, sir?
Micah Sosnowski.
Okay, thank you. You can continue with your statement. You can make your statement.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to point out that the assault, even though technically, or with your paperwork, was only made on me, that is not factual. My family, consisting of 2 children and my partner, Yvonne McCumber, were in the vehicle at the time that Mr. Davis assaulted us. Absolute, complete lack of professionalism with the LPD handling the case, handling the proper report, handling the facts of the case, the fact that he wasn't properly charged and held. The assault was mishandled on many of his cases. My children are currently being held from me by their mother because of this assault, because she does not feel that my home is safe because of Mr. Davis. And I haven't seen my kids for over 6 months because of Mr. Davis. And I have 50-50 custody, and the courts still down in St. Joseph County are not letting me have my kids because of Mr. Davis. Okay? What I've had to go through, the fact of the feelings of inadequacy with that assault, that I didn't handle it and make sure that he never hurt anybody else again. And 2 weeks later, he committed a murder where if he'd have been charged and held properly, there would still be a man alive today. I have to deal with that every day of my life. Every day of my life. So he didn't just assault me. He didn't just take my children from me. He took my manhood from me because I wasn't man enough to handle him. And I'm very empathetic to the fact that he has mental issues and that he has been struggling with this his whole life. I understand that. But law enforcement failed me. Law enforcement failed Mr. Davis. And law enforcement has failed all of his victims. And that's all I have to say here.
Thank you, Mrs. Sosnowski. As Ms. Murray here,
Yes.
does she want to make a statement? Ms. Murray does not wish to make a statement. Mr. Keithy, did you want to address the court?
Thank you, Your Honor. I would just note that ultimately we're here on 2 90-day misdemeanors. Mr. Davis has been in custody since, I believe, December of 2020. At this time, he has served more than maximum possible penalty in this matter, in both of these matters, and we would just be requesting sentences of time served. Thank you, Your Honor.
Lauren, did you have to be on to say?
No, nothing.
Oh, you stood up, so I
I'm
thought you.
sorry, I will sit back down and grab something.
Okay. As indicated by the defense counsel, the maximum penalty on both of these charges is 90 days in the Ingham County Jail. With fines of up to $500. The defendant has been in the custody of the jail since the times of this incident. I think the latest incident was December 2020. Is that accurate?
I can give you a specific date, Your Honor.
Yes, December 2020 on that one. Both of these, I believe, were December 2020. Court will enter a sentence in the amount of 90 days Lincoln County Jail on both files. Credit time served. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the future, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Davis.
That's right.
So I gotta go.
Okay. Who's on the phone number ending in 9189?
Thomas Dean.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Brader? I see he's here. Is Mr. Banker here? Mr. Banker?
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
I don't know if you need a private breakout room.
If I could, with Mr. Loyer and Mr. Brighter.
Okay, just a moment.
I'm on the phone with Mr. Bloy right now. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, can you give me your name again on the phone, 9189?
Thomas Dean.
Mr. Dean, okay, thank you. Let me find your file, Mr. Dean. On the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Thomas Dean and file number 19-041850T. Mr. Dean, today was the date set for a show cause, and that's because you were here back on August 21st to address the show cause. You owe $200 and you still haven't paid.
Yeah, I just started a new job actually.
Okay, when are you gonna make payment on the $200?
I just started yesterday, so it's gonna be 2 weeks before I get my first check, so I can make a payment within 2 weeks.
Okay, how much do you think you'll be able to pay in 2 weeks?
I'll be able to give you at least 100.
Okay, I'll put here that you started a new job, you're gonna make payment of $100 within the next 2 weeks, and then you'll make payment of the balance within 30 days after that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay. William Newman and Aaliyah Morse. Okay. Who's representing Aaliyah Morse?
I represent both of them, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak with them privately?
I already spoke with both of them. I'm ready to proceed.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Aaliyah Morse, the file numbers 21-02227 and 21L2660461. Council appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Mary Bowen, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Leah Morse, who is separately appearing by Zoom.
Today was the date that we adjourned this matter because Ms. Morse was trying to be eligible to take her driving test. Did she get that completed?
Your Honor, she has a temporary permit and she was the city gave 30 days for her to pass her test. Unfortunately, she's taken it twice and failed. I believe that she knows what she has to do to pass, and she plans to take it again in the next 30 days. So I would request that she be given another chance to take her test this month and pass it, or in November.
I don't see Ms. Morse. Ms. Morse, can you make sure I can see you?
Yeah.
Okay, are you already scheduled to take the test again?
No, I have to reschedule it. I just took one, the second one, like a week and a half ago. So.
Okay, how quickly or when does she anticipate taking it a third time?
The next time I get paid.
I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to figure out how much time I need to give you.
Aaliyah, when do you get paid next?
Next week.
Is it like on a Friday? So you're thinking about taking it like November 8th or the week of that, the second week or third week of November?
Yeah.
Okay, which one? The second or third?
Third. I can have it by the third.
So, okay, so the week before Thanksgiving, you're expecting to take it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll adjourn this matter until the first week of December.
Right.
It'll be December 7th at 9 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, Ms. Morris.
Okay.
Okay. On the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus William Michael Newman, file number 21-00630 and 633, council appearances.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mary Bowen, Assistant City Attorney, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant William Newman, who is separately appearing by Zoom.
The date scheduled for pre-trial. This matter is adjourned because Mr. Newman was going to get an assessment. Has he completed the assessment?
Your Honor, he has scheduled his assessment for this afternoon with Pat's. So I would be requesting 4 weeks in order to give Pat's time to complete the assessment after he meets with them this afternoon.
Okay, we'll adjourn this matter for 30 days. Or these matters. November 30th at 9 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Newman.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. And Mr. Herrera is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you need to speak to him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
There was one issue that, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. Well, Mr. Herrera, you have an issue?
There was, yesterday I was supposed to, report to you in person, that, no contact was dismissed yesterday, and the 50,000 was supposed to go with it, but, you specifically told me yesterday that to report to you in person, but that bond is still on there.
We'll address that today. You should have been released. I'm not sure where the miscommunication was, but we'll address that after we deal with the files from today, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
I need to get the file. Can you pull that file from yesterday for me, please? Need a chance. We're on the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Fabian David Herrera. The file numbers is 20-03097, 20L2570672, and 21-00233. Council appearances.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mary Bowen, Assistant City Attorney, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Fabian Herrera, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today's the date that's set for jury trials in these matters. And how are we proceeding at this time?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Herrera is going to be entering a no contest plea. Give me just a moment. I can spell it out. He's going to be entering a plea of no contest to the operating with high BAC in file.
So if you step outside and turn your phone off. Step outside and turn it off. Okay, he's going to plead no contest to the IBAC phone number ending in 233.
Yes. Additionally, he's also pleading no contest due to lack of memory to an amended charge in that file of failing to report an accident. And then he will be also entering a plea to
Yes.
failure to display ops in file ending in 672 OT, file ending in 6730. Nope. Hold on. File ending in 3097 is being dismissed as part of the agreement.
Okay, just make sure I have this correct. He's going to plead guilty to the original high BAC, plead no contest to the original high BAC and the amended charge of failure to report an accident.
Yes, Your Honor.
Accurate on that one?
Yes.
Okay, and then file number ending in 672, he's pleading guilty to the original charge.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
The other file ending in 097 is going to be dismissed.
That is correct.
Okay. And Mr. Herrera, is that what you understand your plea agreement to be, sir?
Your Honor, one minor correction. It is also a no contest due to lack of memory in 672. I
Oh, and
believe Ms.
672 as well.
Ms. Barron, Ms. Bowen has provided the materials on that file.
Yes, and please advise if the court has not received the materials for 0672. I apologize.
Oh, take it to the file. Is there any
Well,
other
that's what she
materials? Take it to the file. Okay, if that's all we have, that's all we have. We can figure it out. But you know contest is on both of them because of the lack of memory.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Herrera, you heard the offer that you are going to be pleading no contest to the high BAC and the amended charge of failure to report an accident in one file, and that in the file with the failure to display ops, you're going to plead no contest to that charge. And the reason for the no contest plea is because you don't have a memory of the incident. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's how you want to proceed, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Herrera, you have the right to be represented by counsel. You are represented by Mr. Tugley in the office, from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed to a jury trial in this matter. And at the time of trial, you have the right to have the city bring sufficient evidence to prove each element of the charge against you. They have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. If you plead no contest, you would waive your right to have trial of any kind. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means you won't have an opportunity to cross-examine or question any witnesses that the city intended to bring. You won't have the opportunity to call your own witnesses or present evidence to your defense. And then you won't have an opportunity to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights today?
No, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights?
No, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that a criminal conviction or a guilty or no contest conviction, that is, it's something that you may have to report to your current employer.
Yes, ma'am.
You also may have to report a conviction to any of your future employers. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you still want to move forward with the plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
As to file number 21-00233, the charge of operating with a high blood alcohol content and failure to report an accident. How do you plead?
No contest, ma'am.
No contest? Can
Ma'am.
you speak up?
No contest, ma'am.
Thank you. And then in file number 20L2570672, the charge is failure to display ops. How do you plead in that file, sir?
No contest as well.
Okay, I'm taking the high BAC file first. I have case number police report 20519111919. States that on or about November 16, 2020 at 4:27 p.m. Officers indicated they were in fully marked LPD patrol vehicles when the officer witnessed a traffic accident at the intersection of East Holmes Road and Stabler Street. In their rearview mirror, the officer drove eastbound on Holmes and had just passed through the green light at the intersection of Stabler. The accused vehicle was being driven by Fabian Herrera, who ran a red light going southbound on Stabler and struck a vehicle that was driving westbound on East Holmes Street. Officers caught up with the accused vehicle and initiated a traffic stop. In their fully marked patrol cars, lights and sirens were activated. Herrera was slow to stop, making several turns as if he was about to stop, but eventually pulled into his driveway at 4616 Aura Street. Herrera was the only occupant of the vehicle. Officers exited the vehicle to make contact with Herrera. Herrera was less than cooperative in advising he was going inside. The officer advised Herrera he was being detained and that he was going to place him in handcuffs. Officers was holding Herrera's arm as he initially refused to have handcuffs placed on him. As Herrera was arguing, the officer could smell the odor of intoxicating substances that was stronger as Herrera spoke. Officers advised Herrera he was under arrest for leaving the scene of an accident and suspected drinking. He read Herrera his rights from LPD advice and rights card. Herrera yelled that he knew his rights and he didn't need to read them. Herrera advised he had been drinking alcohol. He stated he knew he was in an accident. Herrera claims his brakes did not work on the vehicle. Herrera consented to a PBT. His blood alcohol level results was 0.297. Any additional factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keith, are you satisfied with the factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis on that file. Taking the file number ending in 672, the no contest plea to the failure to display ops. The court only has a citation. There's no police report. States that on or about October 16, 2020 at 10:45 p.m. in the area of Stafford Avenue, West Potter Avenue, City of Lansing, Ingham County, that the defendant had contact with Officer Trevor Allman. At the time that the defendant was operating a motor vehicle and failed to display a valid license. Is this the right ticket? It is. Any additional factual basis on that?
Okay, all right, thanks.
File?
Yep, thank you. All right.
Any additional factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Keith, are you satisfied with the factual basis on that file?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied with the factual basis. I will accept your pleas, Mr. Herrera, I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. I think we had already scheduled or penciled in a sentencing on this for December 20th, which would be the date of the sentencing on the other matter. Is that accurate?
That was my request yesterday, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and schedule sentencing on this matter officially for December 20th at 11 o'clock, which is a state date, but the city doesn't typically appear for sentencing anyway, so we wouldn't need to have a prosecutor here, but if you're the officers were victims, so we don't have to worry about it. Mr. Herrera, you already have a referral to meet with probation. So they can provide the court with the pre-sentence report and recommendation. So
I'm
when you
sorry,
do
ma'am.
that, you'll also be added to this matter as well, okay?
I couldn't hear what you said at all.
I said you already, yesterday I advised you that you needed to meet with probation so they can provide the court with the pre-sentence report. So you're gonna meet, when you meet with them, they're gonna do one on this file as well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna have to have a substance abuse assessment performed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So your sentencing will be December 20th at 11 a.m., which is the same sentencing on the matters from yesterday. Now, the issue as to your being in custody, that you were being held, I believe, on a $50,000 cash surety bond on the PA 53, which was dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
The underlying matter, the original file was a 2,500 10%. Was that posted or did he PR?
He PR'd, Your Honor. However, his bond was never revoked or amended on that file, so he has technically remained on bond relative to the underlying offense throughout the entirety of the time he's been in jail. If I had to take a guess, the jail is not understanding that the $50,000 cash surety was only on the PA 53.
That's what I would assume as well. I'm trying to see what's going on in this file. Should have been only for PA 53, but I think it's the way that the PA 53 is completed is what's causing the confusion. I'll go ahead here and in the underlying matter amend the bond to a PR bond. And that will be 2,500 personal recognizance on that one. The other, the PA50 was dismissed. We'll make sure the jail gets clarification so that he can be released.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any additional, no problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set for today, Mr. Herrera. You should be getting released, and don't forget to report to probation, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Is that still within 48 hours or do I have only 24 hours left? Because I'm not
To
released
report
yet.
to probation,
Yes, ma'am.
48 hours.
Okay, starting from the time I get released?
That's correct.
Okay, no further questions, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Okay, Mr. Vinker. Were you all set in the breakout room?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Mr. Coots, is your client with you at all?
Well, Your Honor, no. I thought she was going to be coming in, and then we heard her ride canceled on her. Then we're trying to walk her through the Zoom, how to do Zoom, and apparently she's having technical difficulties. So last I knew, we were telling her to get an Uber and get here.
Okay, sounds good. We'll wait to see if she arrives. Sir, what's your name?
Charles Williams.
You said last name was Woods?
Williams.
Williams. Okay, do you have an attorney? You don't know?
You applied for one, but there's no update after that. I received a letter in the mail, possibly to call for an attorney.
Okay, we'll ask the public defender who just stepped out if your application is still pending or not. Okay, Mr. Venker?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'm not sure. This is Lloyd, correct? Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Bloy is here, and I think his camera
He is
may
here.
not work, but he has
I
audio.
muted him because he was speaking during my proceeding.
Correct.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Gary Martin Bloy, call number 21-0004-321. I'm sorry, 4301. Can I have your appearance, counsel?
Thank you. City of Lansing appears by Assistant City Attorney Greg Benker. Chris Breiter from our Code Compliance Division is present as well via Zoom. And Mr. Gary Bloy is also present via Zoom. He's the defendant respondent in this action. His camera's not working, but I believe his audio is.
Mr. Bloy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just want to make sure you were still there.
Yes.
This matter was adjourned last month because you all were still working through a resolution and there was hopes that this matter would be dismissed. Mr. Vinker, how do you want to proceed?
Thank you. At this point, the city would request just one more week. I think there was a misunderstanding about the number of cars to be removed. All but one has, and I can appreciate the misunderstanding from the language that I used. Mr. Bloy has indicated he can get that one more car gone, and the city believes that representation based on prior action heretofore. So if we can get one more week, I think we'll be in a posture to get rid of this case next hearing.
Sounds good.
Second at 10 a.m.
It'll be November 2nd at 10 a.m.
Very good.
Okay, you're all set for today, Mr. Bloy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks,
Thank
Judge.
you. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Keithley, Mr. Williams, I believe, applied for court-appointed counsel, but he wasn't sure if he had been approved or not.
So it's Mr. Williams?
Charles Williams, he's sitting right there in the back of the courtroom.
Unassigned file. Give me a moment.
Yeah, just put it in there, because I didn't send it to him. Yep.
You want to refer on that data?
A referral and a ticket? No,
I just know they're gonna ask me that foolish this time.
no, they won't. If they do, tell them that, talk to me personally.
All right.
Mr. Keithley?
Thank you, Your Honor. It does appear he did apply for court-appointed counsel. I'm not sure why a determination was not made regarding Mr. Williams.
Okay.
I'm gonna inform the administration within my office, and then we would just be asking for, like, I'd say a 2-week adjournment in this matter, considering that I don't have any discovery.
Okay, Mr. Williams, do you have electronic device that you could log in on?
I have a cell phone. Yeah.
Okay, did you know you could appear via Zoom, correct?
I did not know that until I came in here today.
Yes, you can appear via Zoom. You have not yet been appointed an attorney. They do have your information. but they have been a little behind at the public defender's office recently because of the staffing. So we'll reset your matter. You can appear via Zoom, okay? Now, according to my file, you've not done a good job in the past of appearing via Zoom.
Apparently not. This is a while ago. I wasn't.
Okay. Do you know how to operate Zoom at all?
I do know how to operate it.
Okay, so yeah, you will just need to log in via Zoom with your video capabilities, and that way you won't have to come in person, okay? We'll get you the information on how to log into my Zoom room, and we'll reset your matter. You're all set, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I see Nicole Samuel.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, how are you? Which matter are you here on?
I am here on Ricky Evans.
Okay, I do see Mr. Evans is here. Okay. Let's see if I have other files. Okay, we're on the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Ricky Vermont Evans. File numbers are 21L264131 and 32. Council appearances.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Mary Bowen appearing on behalf of the Office of the City Attorney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Nicole Samuel appearing on behalf of the defendant Ricky Evans. We are both appearing via Zoom today.
Thank you. You can hear us clearly, Mr. Evans?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Today's the date that's set for a pretrial and explanation hearing. How are we proceeding on these matters?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The city will be moving to dismiss the drove unregistered vehicle, and we'll be requesting that the defendant plead responsible to the violation of the basic speed law.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Samuel, how would your client like to proceed?
Thank you. Your Honor, I did receive this offer from Ms. Bowen yesterday afternoon. I have discussed with my client. What's going on here is this incident is part of a bigger case, which we are currently handling for him with the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office. We are requesting some dash cam in that matter that would relate to the traffic stop here. And because of that, and because of what we expect to come out of that dash cam at this point, we are not willing to plead to a speeding violation. If we could have a couple weeks adjournment to get that dash cam and review it, then we may be able to settle this case.
Okay, so I'll note the plea in the offer and we can set it. Sir, pull your mask up above your nose. Thank you. We can reset this matter so that you'll have an opportunity to get your further discovery, okay?
Thank you so much.
November 9th at 10 work for you?
That does, thank you.
Okay, we'll reset these matters for that. I'll note here that the offer that was extended was for the defendant to accept responsibility to the speed in the city. Will dismiss the driving a registered vehicle.
Yes, that is correct, and I'm not sure, but the court may have received a nollie from us. I am not sure, at least as to the drove unregistered vehicle. I do recognize it is on a ticket, so the city would still be moving to dismiss the misdemeanor nonetheless.
Okay, yeah, we can't nollie a ticket. I'll just note it on the file. Okay, so are you saying you're moving to dismiss now regardless, or we're waiting? I'm not following the knowledge.
I would still move to dismiss the drove unregistered vehicle now.
Okay.
anyway.
So that file will be dismissed, and then the other one will set for another explanation hearing.
Yes.
Basic speed is the only one that needs to be reset. Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set for today, Mr. Evans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Same to you. I see a Matt Clark is with us. Which matter are you here on, Mr. Clark? You're muted, sir. Sir, what's your name? Sir, what's your name?
Mark Pierce.
Is that your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Pierce, you can come up.
Your Honor. I don't know if we have to go on the record about this one.
Mr. Pierce,
Yeah,
just an adjournment or something?
no, Your Honor, he's going to be admitting responsibility to a civil infraction. The other matters are going to be dismissed as part of that.
Yes, he's only going to be pleading responsible to the, I think, seatbelt ticket. As to the no insurance and the failure to display ballot outs, the city will be moving to dismiss those two charges.
Have this in a file.
I'm not sure.
I don't have a seatbelt ticket.
Okay. You might be, I don't know if it's closed or not. I don't know,
That might have already defaulted. That might be what the issue is. The seatbelt violation?
Yes.
Yeah, the only thing set today is the insurance and then the failure to display ops. Does he have a default on the seatbelt?
Yeah, but the payment was made.
He's already paid for the seatbelt.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're gonna dismiss the no insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what's going on with the other one?
We will tell you to display out. The city will also move to dismiss that charge as well.
Okay, sounds good. So then you're all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and Mr. Clark, you're muted, so I couldn't hear anything that you were saying.
Sorry, Your Honor. Hopefully I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was here on behalf of Mr. Mills for a traffic violation, and I believe we have an agreement with the city attorney.
Okay, is Mr. Mills with you?
No, he's not. I'm appearing on his behalf, Your Honor. I have authority for him on his pleading responsible.
What was the offer?
Yes, the city will move to amend to an impeding traffic, Your Honor.
The fine is $125. Do you know when you can pay?
I believe there's already a $150 bond on file, Your Honor, in this case. So I think it can be taken out of that and the rest remitted to him.
Is he pass bond in his name?
150.
I don't think I have a file. I have one, thank you. Okay, I'll apply the bond and the balance will be returned to Mr. Mills. You're all set, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, that was Mills.
This Craig next door sent an email about Erica Carabal's and told to be in person.
Oh, thank you, Ron.
I suppose I should talk to Erica Carabal's.
Yes, and then I need a bench warrant on the show cause for Margosian. Pierce. Did we do that? Oh, two to five.
We just addressed Pierce, Your Honor.
Yep, we dismissed both of those.
Schmitz. That's Mr. Quince. Okay. Okay, Mr. Coons, I don't see your client. You said that she was gonna Uber here?
Your Honor, she was gonna Uber to our office. I
Oh, okay,
don't
to your
know.
office.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Right. Would it be possible, Your Honor, to get a breakout room with the city attorney? I believe, is it Ms. Bowen in the courtroom?
She's in the courtroom. So
Okay.
she can go log into Zoom if that's what you want.
Would that be all right, Ms. Bowen?
No problem, counsel. Can you give me a few minutes, please?
Of course, yeah.
All right, I will see you. Thank you, Your Honor. Give us a moment.
Ms. Bowman, are you coming back in the courtroom or are you gonna stay on Zoom?
Your Honor, for right now, I'm gonna stay on Zoom just because I'm getting too overheated with the mask.
That's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Erica Olivia Curazales, file number 21-02704, OM, counsel appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Assistant City Attorney Mary Bowen, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Erica Carazales, who is present in the courtroom to my right.
Today's the date that was reset for a pre-trial. Ms. Curazales, you were here last week. The court had to remove you from the courtroom because you were disruptive and disagreeable with the court over issues outside of the court's purview, but nonetheless, the court said that they would also address your contempt issue today. You did get notification or email that you said you had been exposed to COVID.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Am I free to talk?
Yes.
So that was the issue last Tuesday. We had about 7 people call into work due to COVID. I usually only do bookkeeping on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays, sometimes Saturdays. And my manager called me in because we are short-staffed. He also knew that I had court. I was thinking I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I was never given rules about what I can and can't do during Zoom. So I figured I could drive to work, drop off because I have custody of my grandbabies, drop off the grandbabies while I was waiting for my turn to court. As well as I didn't know that you guys were able to mute conversations as well. So when I went to go mute my own conversation, so you didn't hear me talking to the other workers, you overheard my conversation saying, well, I got to punch in 6 minutes. I hope I don't get in trouble, because right now we're all, on a thin line at work. So I apologize that my frustration came out with you. It was never intended that way. But I also didn't know the rules as well.
Okay.
And I never have issues with court, ma'am. I show up, I do what I have to do, probation, everything. So I apologize. That's why I even tried to call you guys here. I don't know who all is listening, but I can only disclose so much.
I don't want you to disclose a lot of
even where
personal
I'm
information.
staying has been come in contact with COVID as well, where we were demanded to go get tested. I tried to do that last night. Everybody's packed. I set up an appointment for this evening to go get my family tested as well.
Okay. I'm gonna just to deal with the contempt issue. It's against the law to drive distracted. No one has to tell you that you can't drive and log into court and operate a phone at the same time. If that's what you feel like you need to have, we can send notice that you shouldn't be driving and on Zoom at the same time. But I told you that if you were driving, that you could call back when it was safe for you to do so. You at no time say, Your Honor, I'm unaware, or I just want to drop off my grandkids. Can I call in later? That's not what happened. You call back in with an attitude. And so what the court, I don't disrespect litigants, and I'm not going to be disrespected by them either. And so respect's going to be mutual. But if you just are disrespectful and disruptive to the court will hold you responsible for that. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes,
and I recognize that last week it was taking some time before your case was called. Again, that's something I had control over. Your attorney had several other people on Zoom that he had to meet with. And so you have to wait until it's your turn. I can't make him jump to you and meet with you if he's meeting with someone else because you have to be at work. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And that could be something as simple as you communicate with him. You have his number, do you not?
Yes, ma'am.
You could have communicated with him. You know what? I got called into I'm late. Can you ask the court if I can have an adjournment? That's a more appropriate way for you to address it. But starting to yell at me will never fare well. Okay, I'm going to accept your apology. How are we proceeding on the underlying matter?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm doing some sort of internal investigation regarding this case within my office. It's the same issues that caused me to request a 2-week adjournment from Ms. Carazales' state case, which was set for last Monday, and I didn't have an opportunity to request the adjournment in this case. she's set for another pretrial on her state case next week. If we can just move this case to Tuesday of next week, if that can be worked, that would be appreciated, Your Honor.
So she was already set for one next week? On her, oh, that's on a Monday, it'll be a state case. Okay. So just, he wants it on a Tuesday though? Yes. So we
after
can
that.
do, November 2nd at 10. November 2nd at 10 a.m. Yes. And you can appear via Zoom, okay, ma'am? Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set today, Ms. Gonzalez. Thank you. Mr. Kuntz, is your client with you now?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Stephanie Ann Schmitz. File number is 21-004330OD. Council appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mary Bowen, Assistant City Attorney, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And good morning, Your Honor. Dustin Kuntz for Stephanie Schmitz, both of us appearing by Zoom from my conference room.
Thank you. Today's the date that's set for a pre-trial. How do we want to proceed on this?
Your Honor, this is our second pretrial. The court adjourned so my client could get an assessment and possible evaluation for sobriety court. There's also a second case that's going to be charged at some point, but the court made clear that we're not going to be waiting on that second case. We understand and respect that. We're not asking the court to do that. But my client has gotten the substance abuse assessment. We don't have a copy of that yet and have not been able to provide that to the city. So I understand that the city's not prepared to make an offer, and I'll let Ms. Bowen speak to that. We'd be asking for just a little bit more time to get this thing resolved. Like I said, the assessment's been done. The hard part's been done. I'm sorry?
Right. When was the assessment done?
Stephanie, when was it? It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or last week?
Yeah, last week.
Last week, Your Honor.
Yes, it's typically taken up to another 4 weeks for a report after the assessment. So we'll adjourn it until then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anytime she can get.
Yes, please. Does November 23rd work for you, Mr. Kuntz?
Does, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. That is the week of Thanksgiving. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, this matter will
Thank
be
you.
adjourned until November 23rd at 10 o'clock, you said? At 9:30. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set for today. We're just waiting to see if Shane Sherman logs in or comes in person, I guess.
Okay.
And I see Pamela Ruth is here, but I'm waiting for her attorney. Maybe that's a sentencing, so you don't need to.
I'll remain on standby and muted, Your Honor.
Hello,
Yes, what's your name, sir?
Shane Sherman?
Okay, Mr. Sherman, do you have an attorney?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in a private meeting room with the city attorney so you can discuss this matter, okay?
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Room,
Hello.
room
Ms.
one?
Bowen, you're already in room one, yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Okay, Ms. Reese?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I believe your client, Ms. Ruth, is online here. Ms. Pamela Ruth, can you start your video? Okay, excellent. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Pamela K. Ruth. File number is 21-01530OD. Council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jennifer Kuiper-Weese on behalf of Ms. Ruth, P66162.
Today's the date set for sentencing. The court does have a pre-sentence report and recommendation from probation. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Reese?
I did, Your Honor, and I went through it with my client. We have no objections or corrections to the report or the recommendation.
Thank you. Did you want to address the court prior to sentencing?
Briefly, Your Honor, it's not often that you see a report on a drunk driving case that was as serious as Ms. Ruth's that is so positive. I say that not because I think the probation agent missed anything. I think actually they covered everything really thoroughly with Ms. Ruth. She completed highway safety. She did the MAD victim impact panel. She's been abiding by all of her bond conditions. Ms. Ruth went and had an assessment. It was found to be a low risk. And she is not asked or recommended that she do fines and costs or be sentenced to fines and costs on this case. And we just respectfully ask the court to follow this recommendation. Ms. Ruth is incredibly humbled by this experience. She's in her late 60s, has a good job, has never had any criminal violations whatsoever. This is her very first. And I think she does wish to address the court.
Thank you. Ms. Ruth, you can address the court at this time.
I just want to say that I'm very sorry that I got behind the wheel and decided to drive drunk. I feel really bad about what happened that day. And when I think about how I could have killed somebody, I could have never lived with that for the rest of my life. I will never drink and drive as long as I live.
Thank you for that. And I can sense the sincerity there. The court has your criminal history. There is none. This is not behavior you are typically involving yourself in based on the assessments provided here in your criminal history. And so the court is comfortable in believing this to be an isolated incident, and it was unfortunate, but the silver lining is that you did not injure yourself or anyone else. And so I'm glad that you've learned from that, and hopefully we won't see you back in court for anything like this again. One issue I did want to address from the pre-sentence report, and I don't know if this was just a misprint of what you stated, that you were drinking in celebration of the end of COVID. COVID hasn't ended yet, so I hope that you are conducting yourself in a manner that is consistent with that there is still a threat out there, and we do want you and everyone else to continue to be safe during this pandemic. But the recommendation from probation was that there was no treatment needed because you'd essentially been proactive and done all the things that you needed to do. You did not meet the diagnostic criteria for any substance use disorder. And so because of that, the court does not believe that a term of probation is appropriate in this matter. The court will issue a sentence of fines and costs only, okay?
Yes,
Thank you,
Your Honor.
John.
No problem. There's a $75 crime victim rights fee that will be assessed, a $50 state minimum cost that will also be assessed. There's an OWI cost recovery fee that you owe to Lansing Police Department for their response to this incident. The amount owed there is going to be $562.62. I'll also assess a fine of $150. And so you'll have the opportunity to make monthly payments on that, okay, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
a total of $837.62. I'll refer it to collection so that way they can contact you and find out what your financial situation is, and you can make a payment plan with them, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. And I have a number here for you. Is it 573-5559?
Correct.
Okay, that's the number that they'll contact you to deal with the collections issue. Do you have any questions
Thank
for the
you.
court at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
No, thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, same to you. I thought I just made somebody, but they disappeared. Oh, there they go. Hi, who's on the Galaxy A02? Hello, who's on the Galaxy A02? Oh, I need that sheet, this sentence sheet.
I can put it over there. Jump this up.
Thanks. Okay, they left. Ma'am, can you unmute, please? I think their computer is freezing.
Can you hear me now?
I can. What's your name?
Raquisha Wilkes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Donnelly, did you need to speak to her privately?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, one moment. Okay, just this, thank you. Okay, Mr. Sherman, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Shane Jason Sherman. I have file numbers 21-02181 and 21-02182, 21-02500, 21-02499, and 21L2671401. Council appearance.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mary Bowen, Assistant City Attorney, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Okay, and Mr. Sherman, please state your name for the record.
Shane Jason Sherman.
Thank you. Today's the date that was set for pre-trials and one explanation hearing. And Mr. Sherman, you are proceeding without counsel.
Yes.
Trying to understand why we have an explanation here. Let me see. Oh, that's fine. Okay. You met privately with Miss Bowen. Miss Bowen, was an offer extended at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is that?
At this time, Your Honor, the city will be moving to dismiss the failure to display a valid driver's license, as Mr. Sherman does have a valid license. As to the 2 counts of the no insurance, Mr. Sherman does actually have valid insurance, but he does not have the vehicle with him today with that proof of insurance. So at this time, we would be asking the city to adjourn this matter for 1 week for Mr. Sherman to provide us with an electronic copy of his proof of insurance. Once we receive that valid proof of insurance, the city will also move to dismiss the 2 counts of no insurance. And Mr. Sherman will be pleading responsible to speed, to the speeding ticket. The city may be willing to move that speeding ticket to maybe something a little bit lower with less points, given how Mr. Sherman has made substantive efforts to get his license restored and get his insurance taken care of.
Okay, and just for the clarification on the record, there's 2 no ops, so the city's moving to dismiss both of those?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay, and Mr. Sherman, that's your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the city's going to dismiss the no ops. We'll reset the remaining matters so that you can provide proof of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the city will determine how they want to move forward on the speeding 11 to 15 that would be remaining.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We can do November 2nd at 10:30.
November 2nd at 10:30?
10:30 at one date?
November 2nd.
November 2nd, 10:30. Okay.
That's for the no insurances. There's 2 of them. And then the speeding. Okay. So it's file number 21-02182 will need to be reset. The one ended in 2500 needs to be reset. Yep, and then the ticket. Okay, any questions today, sir?
No, Your Honor. I actually just want to give a compliment to the attorney that did a great job and communicating with me, and you too also. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay, that. I think that's all you have, right, Ms. Bowen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Oh, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday from courtroom 4.
Thank you, courtroom 4. I appreciate y'all.
All right, you go ahead and celebrate for the rest of the week, and we'll see you next week.
I am, and I'm gonna get some rest at it while I'm at it.
All right, have a good one.
All right, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You know, this is gonna be kind of difficult in here. You know that, right? This is gonna be difficult. Having court in here with
Okay,
her.
ma'am, Ms. Wilkes,
Yeah.
you're not muted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know if you know that you were not muted, so the court and everybody who's watching YouTube can hear whatever you're saying, okay?
Yes.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Lucretia Wilkes. This is file number 20-00515, counsel appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Lucretia Wilkes, who is separately appearing by Zoom.
Thank you, Ms. Wilkes, you're still there? I think there's a connection issue, so you keep freezing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Today's the date that was set for a hearing on violation of probation. You were arraigned on that violation, looks back on October 15th by Magistrate Milmore. Let's see if I can find the actual violation. Okay, the violation alleges that you failed, or so first that you was arrested and charged with operating while intoxicated in Eaton County per police. Report number 011-000303921, and that you violated your probation by testing positive for marijuana on July 15th, July 26th, and August 9th, 2021 for Adam. And then lastly, that you failed to submit to PPT testing on August 24th per Adam. However, I do believe that the probation department indicated that they would be willing to withdraw that one.
Okay.
Okay, if they said returned away on August on the 4th. I don't know if that was a typo. Ms. Donnelly, did you receive that email as well?
I did, Your Honor, and I had that same question, yes.
Okay, I'm going to assume it was a typo. So they said they would be willing to dismiss the third allegation or withdraw that allegation, but how would your client like to proceed on the first two allegations?
She will plead guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Wilkes, that's correct. You want to plead guilty to the allegations that you were arrested and charged with OWI in violation of your probation, and that you tested positive for marijuana on July 15th, 26th, and August 9th.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Ms. Wilkes, you have the right to be represented by counsel during this probation violation proceeding. You are represented by Ms. Donnelly from the Office of the Public Defender. You have the right to proceed to contested hearing today on these violations. And you have the right to have the probation department bring sufficient evidence to establish their burden that you did in fact violate the terms and conditions of your probation order by committing the acts that they alleged here in the summons for probation violation. If you are to be found guilty of these violations, or if you plead guilty to those violations, you understand that there could be increased sanctions, or you could be sentenced to a term of jail time. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, you want to waive your hearing even with that understanding?
Yes.
Anybody promising you anything to get you to waive your hearing?
No.
Is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your hearing?
No.
Okay, as to the allegation that you was arrested and charged with operating while intoxicated in Eaton County, per the police report number ending in 3039, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. And so were you arrested and charged with it operating while intoxicated in Eaton County?
Yes.
Okay, is that matter pending still?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you were placed on probation by this court back on May 11th, 2021, correct?
Yes.
And then the court put you on a term of 10 months probation. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and did the court tell you that you were not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol while on probation?
Yes.
Okay, and so the court is satisfied with the factual basis for that violation. Any further factual basis you want to add, Ms. Donnelly, on that one?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and then as to the violation that you tested positive for marijuana on July 15th, July 26th, and August 9th, 2021, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Were you ordered to test at Adam on July 15th, July 26th, and August 9th?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Okay, and did you report to testing?
Yes.
Okay, do you dispute that you tested positive for marijuana on those dates?
No.
Okay, and had you been in consumption of marijuana prior to testing? It was frozen. Can you repeat your answer?
Yes.
Okay, and you knew it was marijuana when you ingested it?
Yes.
Okay, and you knew that you were not to use, purchase, or possess drugs, alcohol, or marijuana without a valid prescription, correct?
Yes.
Do you have a valid prescription for marijuana?
No.
Okay. Any additional factual basis, Ms. Donnelly?
No, Your Honor.
The court satisfied with your factual basis on that count. Count 3 will be dismissed. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Ms. Donnelly, did you want to address the court before sentencing is imposed?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, after was talking with Ms. Wilkes, she reports that basically she has turned herself admitted herself to the Parkview Center rehabilitation in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She did that on Saturday, October 9th. And it's going to be a 30-day program. She is making, her and her treatment team are discussing further treatment options after that 30 days. She might be doing a more specialized trauma inpatient treatment that could go another 30 days or up to 6 months. At this time, we have no objections to the recommendation, only that through all this, Ms. Wilkes has lost her, or she left her employment, and so she is more financially strapped now. I know the recommendation would have her go on a scram tether. If it's all possible, she would be willing to test more. She's only testing 2 times a month right now. But other than that, we have no objections to the recommendation. She is very motivated to change her habits. So thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And you said, where's this residential treatment located?
It's in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay. Ms. Wilkes, what brought you to Fort Wayne? Did you go just for the program, or do you have family there?
My mother still lives in Huntertown, and I kind of looked up some programs, and this one kind of seemed to fit best. They offer a little bit more than the ones in Michigan. So I wanted to come here where I can do hands-on group therapy, hands-on AA meetings, and deal with the trauma that I never tried to deal with before.
They're also paying for some of it too as well, right? You're getting subsidy, you're getting help. Yeah.
Okay, it's very good. I'm glad to hear that you checked yourself in to get the issues addressed and to get the treatment that you need. That's first and foremost the goal of the court, is to make sure that you're getting your issues addressed so that you're not repeating the cycle of behavior. And so the recommendation of probation was to continue your probation, to impose a sentence of 60 days, Ingham County Jail, credit 1 day, and suspend the 59 remaining days upon successful completion of no more positive tests. They also requested that I add or place you on a scram tether and order you to attend 12-step meetings. I think at this time, because you're already in the residential treatment, the issues that the court is trying to address is being addressed there at this point. So I'm not going to order scram tether at this time. I'm going to order that you complete or continue with your treatment at the Parkview Rehab. And is your treatment there going to create a problem for your reporting with your probation officer?
No,
okay.
I'm not. No, 'cause I'm not sure how she wants to do it. Ryan was a little bit different. Like, he'll give me my report date, and I usually just talk to him, you know, or if anything came up, I always kept good contact with him. But so
That was another issue though. I don't know if she has a new probation officer or so that I can provide contact information so that she has it.
Yeah, the last information that I have would be the same information that you have, and it came directly from the chief probation officer. So Ms. Donnelly, if you want to respond to that email and ask her to provide you the name of whoever Ms. Wilkes is being assigned to, I'm sure she'll let you know who that is.
All right, thank you.
I can't speak to it because she actually responded herself, so it may have been an issue that she may be doing the supervision on this herself.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll have you continue your programming. Update your probation officer if you're going to continue with the specialized trauma programming. Now, and I would encourage you to do that, because if there's underlying trauma, you doing a 30-day program, it's not going to be as beneficial as you think if you don't address that trauma, ma'am. So I would hope that you would continue to avail yourself of that programming while you're there and while you're in an area where you have family support. Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and then you need to continue to report to probation as ordered. We'll find out who your officer is. They're already aware that you are in a residential treatment program, so they should try to make accommodations to keep your reporting as consistent as it was before, the same way you did it with Ryan. If that was convenient, you can just let them know that that is the way that continues to work for you now, and that should not be problematic. So long as you have no more positive tests, the court will suspend I'm going to impose the 60 days with credit for 1 day. I'm going to suspend the balance as long as you are consistent with no more positive tests. Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you have any questions at this time?
Yes.
What's your question?
Now, on the days that I have to do my testing, I can test here, and they will just have to know where we send the results to.
Okay, sounds good. I will note that here that you're obviously in a residential treatment in Fort Wayne, so you're not going to obviously be able to get to Adam for testing. So arrangements can be made to make sure that you're testing and that you're remaining sober during this process. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Wilkes, I wish you good luck and best wishes, and hopefully I won't see you again under these circumstances.
I don't want to see you under these. But
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
And Raquisha, I will call you
Not a
later with the
problem. Thank you.
information that you need, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Donnelly.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Same to you.